All right, gang, Yogalates, welcome. Great to see you. Modify as needed. When you get to your mat, of course, make sure you can see me, whether you're standing up or going to be down on the floor, because we'll be doing both. We're going to start in a nice wide stance today with the feet. Make sure you feel nice and strong in the legs, though. Wide as you can with the feet, toes forward. Take a big breath in and do a nice big sun salutation. Reach overhead. Draw the abs tight. Squeeze your glutes in. Let's take one more big breath. Press the feet into the floor. Squeeze your glutes. Draw your abs tight. Big breath in. On your exhale, we're going to fold down the right leg. Trace your hands down your right leg as far as you can. Relax into your right knee. Let's take 3 breaths on the first one. Legs straight. We're stretching those hamstrings out real good. 2 more breaths, working through the sticking points on the exhales. Relax your head and chest down into your right knee. 1 more time. Unroll the back up, drag the arms up your leg, take a breath in, come overhead, sun salutation, reach. Draw the abs in tight, decompress, open everything up on your exhale. Trace down your left leg slowly without bending the knee. Go as low as you can with the hands. Relax into your leg. And let's take 3 breaths. Turn that music up just a little bit. There we go. 2 more breaths, folding to the left knee. 1 more breath. We're going to do that again, but we're going to add in side bends at our top portion. Unroll the spine up. Come overhead, sun salutation. This time, make a finger gun. Bring the hands together, make a finger gun. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, bend to one side. Does not matter which direction. Get one side of your body as long as you can. 3 breaths. Building that sequence. We're only going to do a few things standing up today. We're going to be taking it down to the mat shortly. 2 more breaths. Abs tight, legs straight. Bending across and reaching a little further on those exhales. Let's do 1 more breath. Good. Come back to the center. Take a breath in. Exhale, opposite side, your side bends. Reach through your finger gun. Find your sticking point. Keep your chest tall. Try to not drop the chest. 2 more breaths. Let's get all those adjustments out of the low back in that big stretch. All down the side from the shoulder into the hip. 1 more breath. Okay, come back to the center. Take the hands all the way down to the floor. Relax your head down. If you need to soften your knees a bit to get your hands all the way to the floor, you can bend the knees a little bit. Interlace your arms, grab your elbows, sway to the left leg slowly. Sway to the right leg slowly. And again, you can soften your knees up as much as you need. To your low back if this is too much right now. Maybe the hamstrings are still really rigid, too much tonus. It's not going to feel good to move around in this fold. Take them slow. You can just let the head hang down and focus on stretching your low back and hamstrings. Move with your breath if you're swaying. 3 more breaths. Dropping the head, arms down a little deeper in the middle of your sways. Building the sways when and if you feel ready. 2 breaths. 1 more breath, side to side. Okay, come to the center. Unroll the spine up nice and slow. Always articulate up. Please go to one edge of your mat and kneel down into child's pose. And while you guys are doing that, I think I can still hear some breathing. Go ahead and get down into child's pose. I'm just going to check there we go. Now I got you. Okay, didn't turn the audio off. Child's pose. Sink back, feet together, knees a little wider. Relax down. Get as flat as you can into those legs and hips. Lower your head, chest down without bringing your butt off your feet or as low as you can keep it. Stretch the arms out. 3 breaths. Pushing your head, chest down between the legs, sinking your hips back deep as you can onto your feet, stretching out through the fingers. 2 breaths. Let's take one more nice big breath into your child's pose. Come into table pose. Single arm lat stretch with a twist. Keep your knees under your hips as best as you can tell. Take your left arm out in front of you with karate chop hand as far as you can. Really stretch that left arm out. Push your chest and armpit down as deep as you can towards your mat. And then bring your right arm up as high as you can with the palm forward. So we're making a nice big L shape with the arms. 3 breaths. And as we're sinking our body weight down, you should really be kind of opening up your armpits, feeling that stretch. The lat right into the armpit and even into the triceps. 2 breaths and keep reaching up and back behind you as you push your chest down. 2 breaths. 1 more breath. Bring the right arm down. Come into table pose. Let's do a nice big cat. Draw your abs in. Round your back high as you can. Squeeze the abdomen in and up. Tuck your chin. Push into the floor. Let's go into cow. Lift the head high. Arch. Extend the spine and back down as low as you can. Take a big breath into it. Let's do 1 more. Up to cat. We're going to mix these in again. We're going to do a couple more after our other lat stretch. Round the back. Lift the head high. Go into cow. Everything from the neck to the tailbone. Great. Slide your right arm out or the opposite arm for your single arm lat stretch. Karate chop hand. Push your chest down. Feel the stretch. When you're ready, and if you feel ready, you're welcome to keep that left arm down or add in the twist if you can. You're just going to let your body weight and your head go right down on top of your right arm. You're going to really open up that armpit, stretch the lat and triceps. 2 breaths. Twisting a little bit more. If you have the arm up, you're welcome to keep it down and just focus on the single arm lat stretch. 1 more breath, reaching out through the fingers of both arms. Good. Bring the left hand down, slide your right hand back into table pose. Let's do a couple more cat and cows. Here we go. Up to cat. Round the shoulders, arch the back, tuck your chin, look at your belly button. Squeeze your glutes. Release the cow, lift the head high, pull the shoulders back. Let's do 1 more for good measure. Up to cat, last one, squeeze, reach. And release to cow. Excellent. Modified downward facing dog. We're sticking with our spine and shoulder girdle theme for the moment. Knees under the hips. Stretch your arms out as far as you can in front of you, wider than the shoulders. Open your hands up really wide. Keeping your knees right under your hips, 90 degrees at the hips and knees. Push your chest down. Turn your head to one side just in case you're one of those people who can get your head and chest all the way to your mat. If you turn your head to one side, it'll give you a couple extra inches. As you push your chest down into the mat, pull your shoulder blades back, press your hands firmly into the floor, and make sure you are all the way out on those fingertips without moving or changing the angle of your hips and knees. 1 more breath. Turn your head to the other direction just to get a little movement and get it out of that same position. 2 more breaths. Should be getting a really good big stretch. I love this. Chest, front of the shoulders, upper back. Let's give it one more breath, guys, and we'll drag the arms back, come into table pose. We're gonna do a bird dog heel press type combo. Step your right foot back so you're on your toes and press your heel back into the floor. Plant your right hand firmly somewhere in front of the shoulder. Take a breath in and raise your left arm up as high as you can, as straight as you can. 3 breaths. So we're pressing the right heel back, feeling that stretch behind the ankle and into the calves. As we reach up and out with the left arm, make the longest line you can. 2 breaths. Reach, reach, reach. It's okay if you lift the chest up a bit. Really get that left arm high as you press the right heel back. 1 more breath. Reaching through the left fingers, pushing back through the right heel. Come back into table pose. Take a nice big deep breath in. Push your left leg back, right arm up. Follow the same steps. 3 breaths. Good little dynamic stretch. Left calves, Achilles tendon, soleus getting stretched. Reaching that right arm up, stretching the lats and chest. Getting some good lengthening. 2 breaths. 1 more nice big breath in our bird dog heel press. Come back into table pose, knees under the hips. Keep your knee bent at 90 degrees through this whole sequence. We're gonna press the right heel to the ceiling, keeping the knee bent at 90, squeezing the glutes. 3, 2, 1. Keep the knee bent at 90 as you draw it into your chest, round your back and squeeze your abs in. 3, 2, 1. Hip extension or glute kick. Press to the ceiling, keeping the knee bent at 90. 3, squeeze your backside. 2, 1, round your back. Bring the knee into your chest and squeeze your abs. 3, 2, 1. Keep them going. 5 total. Here we go. Glute kick. Keep trying to get higher. Keep squeezing your backside. And on your breath, exhale. Frozen wolf or modified frozen wolf is what we call this pose, with the knee into the chest. Here we go. 2 more. Inhale. Glute kick. Squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Modified frozen wolf. Knee into the chest. Squeeze the abs. 3, 2, 1 more time, guys. We are warming up that hip good. Here we go. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. High as you can. 3, 2, 1. Last knee into the chest. Squeeze the abs. Round your back. 3, 2, 1. Let's go into our child's pose. Sink back. Feet flat. Knees out a bit wider. Stretch out. Let's recover. Let's restore. Let's give the wrist, shoulders a good full break. Always trying to get deeper into our child's pose. Get as flat as you can. 3 breaths. Stretch those arms out. We're not engaging any muscle. We're restoring. We're focusing on breath. Get lots of oxygen in the body and take the energy all the way down. It's all about the different energies, the chakras. I'm not too familiar with all the chakras. All I know is there's tougher ones and easier ones. I like to mix them together. All right, guys, come to table pose. Let's do our glute kick to modified frozen wolf. Left leg or opposite leg you were just doing if you got mixed up there. Opposite leg should be the left. Squeeze your backside. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, round the back. Bring that knee as deep into your chest as you can. Squeeze the abs. Here we go. Inhale, kick. Keep trying to get higher. Exhale, knee into the chest. Squeeze the abs. We're doing 5 total. Here we go. Inhale, kick. Remember, we always move with the breath, fluid, precise movements. Exhale, knee to the chest. Keep that mind-muscle connection strong. Inhale, kick, 2 more. Squeeze, 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 kick, kick, kick. And exhale, knee to the chest, squeeze the abs. We've got 1 more, guys. Here we go, last one. Inhale, kick high as you can, squeeze, 3, 2, 1. Last modified frozen wolf, squeeze the abs in 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Push back and sit up tall. Hero pose to start. We're going to go to forward low lunge. So we just did a lot of warming up on the back of the hips. Let's start stretching the fronts. Bring your left foot forward for forward low lunge. Just like always, make sure you have a big angle at the knee. You don't want your foot way back here. Look at the difference in the amount of space at the hip when we come forward. We have that foot out there. So we want lots of room. Head, chest up tall, shoulders back. And lean the hips forward so we're getting that good stretch. The hip flexors. Take your right arm to the outside of that front lead left leg. So just kind of hook your elbow or forearm to the outside of that left knee. Put your left arm straight out in front of you with your palm facing you. Take a big breath in. And on your exhale, I want you to sprinkler. Keep that left arm behind you. Look over your left shoulder, keeping your head, chest up as tall as you can. Still leaning the hips forward. 3 breaths. We rotate and twist. We're asking those hip flexors to lengthen even more. So take it slow. 2 breaths. A little bit of stability required. Do 1 more nice big breath. Good. Come back to the center and just take that left hand to the floor. You can take your right arm off. Modified triangle. Left hand on the floor, under the shoulder, chest somewhere. Right arm comes up, palm is forward. Pretend like there's a wall behind you. Reach, flatten your back out. 3 breaths. Try to keep the arms in line. Turn your head and look up your right arm if you can. 2 breaths. Getting flatter and flatter against that imaginary wall behind you. 1 more breath. Bring the right hand down to join your left. Draw your left leg back so you're in table pose. Sit yourself up to hero pose. Bring your right leg forward. We're going to do that exact same sequence on the other side. Head, chest tall, big angle at the knee. Lean your hips forward. Find the initial stretch. Take your left arm to the outside of your right thigh and knee somewhere. Just hook your forearm or elbow. Take a nice big breath in. Add in the sprinkler twist. Reach behind you. So again, we're still pushing the hips forward. Head, chest tall as we reach back. 3 breaths. Big stretch. 2 breaths. Keep pulling that head, chest up and back. It's tempting to want to lean forward. It makes it easier. 1 more breath. Okay, return back to the center. Take your right hand down to the floor under your chest, shoulder somewhere. On your breath, bring your left arm up for modified triangle. Push flat against that imaginary wall behind you. Try to keep the arms somewhat in line. Turn your head, look up your arm if you can. Palm is forward, that top arm. 2 breaths. 1 more big breath. Okay, bring the left hand down to join your right. Draw your right leg back. Sit down on your butt and just swing your legs out in front of you. Make sure you have room behind you. We're going to already lay flat. If you're able to roll back, do a roll back or just go to your side. However you can get flat. Unroll the spine. Then let's go ahead and go right into our good morning stretch. Can I say I'm a creature of habit? Reach back. Get as flat as you can. Decompress. Stretch the whole body out. As long and as flat as you can. Reach back through the fingers, down through the toes. 2 more breaths. One more nice big breath in. And let's go ahead and cradle. Knees to the chest, one at a time. Hug them down. Get as small as you can. Push your chest into your knees. Wrap the arms around the legs. Hug them down as firmly as you can. 3 breaths. Squeeze the abs in. Turn yourself into the smallest little ball you can make. One more breath. Relax your head. Extend your left leg down straight. We're going to do a single line hip twist to start, and then we're going to add in movement with the same type of position. Go ahead and put your right arm out to your side. Right knee is over the hip at 90. Guide it over slowly in our classic single line hip twist pose. One of our go-tos. Keep that right shoulder down. Make sure that left leg is straight and somewhat in line with the body. Reach out through those right fingers, keeping that right shoulder anchored. Palm up is best, I think. Get a little nice bonus stretch in the chest if you follow those steps. 2 more breaths, taking the knee over as far as you can. And like I said, we're going to do a dynamic single line hip twist. We're going to add movement in, actively stretch and get that hip joint moving in all directions. Last breath in our single line hip twist. Okay, bring that right knee back over your hip at 90 and just have your arms to your sides with your palms down so we can really anchor the upper body. We're going to take that knee at 90. We're going to move it over to the left in that single line hip twist position as far as you can without your shoulders lifting. And then you're going to extend your leg straight and sweep it down, back over to the right, opposite side. Reach out through your toes as far as you can to the right, and then bend the knee to come back in over the hip and repeat. Single line hip twist to the left. Once you get to your furthest point, extend the leg straight, reach through the toes as you sweep over to the right as far out as you can. Once you get to that furthest position, bend the knee again and rotate over nice and slow, keeping the upper body anchored. Nice and slow, guys. Move slow. Listen to pain. It's a lot of movement in that right hip. If you're getting any catching, clicking, discomfort, do smaller sweeps, smaller movements. Modify as needed. Let's do a couple more. Hip twist over. Feel the stretch on the back of the hip, and then reach down through the toes all the way across and out to the right. One more time. Bend the knee. Bring it in. Last one, sweep it down. And when you get down to the bottom, you can just let that right leg plop down straight. Bring the left knee up. Let's start with a 3-breath single line hip twist just to really get those muscles stretched. Follow the same steps. Take the knee over for our classic single line hip twist. Left shoulder down, palm up. Reach out through the fingers. 2 more breaths. Take it slow. Not uncommon to get a good adjustment on this one. One more breath before we add in that big sweep. Okay. Put your arms to your sides with the palms down, wherever you feel the most stable. Keep the knee bent at 90. Go ahead, take it over to the right in our single line hip twist. Shoulders stay down. Once you get as far as you can, reach down and sweep out to the left as far as you can. Bend the knee as you draw it back in over the hip and back to the right side. No gravity, no momentum. Strict, precise movement with your breath. Here we go. Keep them going. We're doing 5 total. We got 3 more roughly. Just take them slow. Find that rhythm with your breath. I'm inhaling as I sweep, and I'm exhaling as I take the knee over into the stretch. But you breathe freely, whatever feels right for you. 2 more. One more time through the cycle. Here we go. Last one, as far as you can, carefully. And once you bring that leg back down to the bottom, go ahead, bring your knees into your chest, hug them down. Rock if you want to in your cradle, side to side. Massage the back and spine a bit. 2 breaths. I'm going to start cooling down. We're getting close to our time here. We'll be focusing on our breath for a couple minutes, and we'll do a couple little waking up stretches before we call it a day. Let's go ahead and go into our corpse pose. Extend your legs down straight, one at a time. Let me get a little more in the picture here. I wiggled my way down. Arms to your sides with your palms up, wherever's the most comfortable. Go ahead, close your eyes. Let's take 5 really nice, long, deep belly breaths. All the way in, every bit of air you can. And blow every bit of air, all that air back out. Here we go. 5 big, long, deep belly breaths. Fill those lungs up. 4. 3 more big belly breaths. Get completely relaxed. Everything's heavy. 2 more big deep breaths, lots of air in. 1 more nice big deep belly breath. Great, bring your arms behind you. Bring your feet a little bit off the floor if your back is okay with that. Reach back through the fingers, down through the toes with the feet a little off the floor if you can, or you can keep them down. Take 3 breaths, abs tight, listen to your low back, don't make it uncomfortable. 1 more nice big breath in. Okay, let those feet plop down. Open up your eyes, roll up or sit yourself up any way you can. And I think that is where we'll go ahead and stop our Yogalates flow for today. Come pause our recording. I hope you guys feel better. I hope you liked that one. Yes, sorry for all the beeps on the computer here. This thing is constant. This is such an old, this laptop's like 13 years old. Might be time for a upgrade. All right, guys. Great seeing you as always. Appreciate you joining me. I hope you enjoyed that flow. Have an awesome weekend. Don't forget, there is no Yogalates next week online or in person. None of our classes, actually. We're going to be doing a little vacation time, family time. So use the recordings as needed. And we hope to see you guys when we get back. Have a great rest of your week. Okay?
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.